Hello, it's Chris.
Hey everybody, what's up? And welcome back to Chris vs. the People. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I am excited to have you here. And I'm just going to tell you now that today is going to be a shorter episode than normal. And the after show that we do on Patreon is also going to be shorter. I just got back from the Beyonce concert last night in New Jersey. And I'm leaving tonight to go to Los Angeles. So I don't have a ton of time, and I was honestly stressed that I was going to have to miss an episode, but my flight got pushed, and it all just felt very much like fate that, girl, we're recording an episode. For today's episode, I really kind of wanted to have a theme that all of the calls sort of stuck to, and it is wild, insane stories. So we have 3 or 4 really kind of wild stories that I thought would be fun to get to today. However, before we get to the calls, I just want to remind you to subscribe to Chris vs. the People wherever you get your podcasts. And we do record the after show on patreon.com/Chris Clemens. You can also watch video episodes. I personally think they're a lot more fun on youtube.com/@Chris vs. the People. And yeah, I'm heading to Seattle and Portland this week to do shows. And after that, it's just Indianapolis, St. Louis, and New York City. So go get your tickets and let's get into the chaos. Now, our first caller is Lily, and she reveals how her 15-year-old sister found out her new boyfriend's insane past. And I think that's something we all need to hear about. Hey, Lily, it's Chris from Chris vs. the People. Now, I need to hear all about your boyfriend's insane past, but furthermore, how your 15-year-old sister found out about it.
Yeah, where should I begin with this? Like how I met this guy?
Well, how long ago was this?
So I was 21, so 4 years ago.
Okay, this was 4 years ago. Are you still with the boyfriend?
Hell no, I broke up with him that day.
Oh my God. Okay, got it. And then, yeah, how did you guys meet? I am curious about that.
Tinder.
Oh, okay. Just a straight up,
Not great.
It's the answer none of us want to give. No, I got you big time. What is the insane past, I guess?
Like, I matched with him on Tinder mostly because his bio, he had a bunch of tattoos and he liked early 2000s pop punk and worked in a Michelin star restaurant. So I was like, okay. And so I met him. I had to pick him up, by the way, from his apartment, which was not close to me. I lived in Brooklyn.
Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
Trust me, it does. It will.
Oh, okay, got it.
He never let me meet his roommate.
Okay, so you're his mom running carpool.
Yes, pretty much. And so, like, I was okay with it since he was going to make me dinner. And it was awesome. So I saw him for at least 3 months since that day that I picked him up. And I would pick him up all the time every time we hung out. And he made dinner for me and my friend. And my sister, she knew about him because she wanted to be a chef. And so when he was cooking, I would, like, FaceTime her and they would talk about things. He would come over and like sharpen my knives and like do all this stuff, and I didn't think literally thought nothing of this.
Well, so did your sister know of him before you matched with him? Like, is he like a local hometown hero chef?
No.
Okay, got it. She found out about him through you.
Yeah, no. And he was like, I don't know, I was 21. He was almost 30, so I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. I was like freshly out of a 3-year-long relationship. So I just was kind of like on Tinder for the first time and didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Oh, that couldn't have been a sadder sentence if you tried.
Yeah.
Okay, so where does the insane past come in?
So my sister found out that he was arrested for killing his ex-girlfriend's dog and 2 of her cats, and that he's an alcoholic and totally abusive and all of this other stuff. There's like a Facebook group about putting him back in jail. That's what she found about him.
Wait, I thought it was crazy when like NYU students made a Facebook group about like Lady Gaga, you'll never be famous. There is a man out there with a Facebook group saying that he should be put back in jail.
Yeah, she found it because the reason why she even looked was because I was supposed to go on a date with him, but I just finished moving a couch from Connecticut back to my apartment by myself, and he wanted to go on a date, and I was like, I'm tired, bro.
Also, like, where the fuck were you helping me carry this couch, bitch?
You know, period. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Was it your first date?
No, I had been seeing him for 3 months. And so he was like, well, I really wanted to tell you something important on this date. And I was like, well, then just call me. Like, I don't want to see you tonight. So he calls me and tells me that he was in jail for a year for a DUI.
Is that true?
No.
Got
And
it.
like I just felt bad that I don't know. I don't know why I felt bad. I just was like, oh,
Well, it's you probably felt bad because you're like, I don't want you to think that like I judge you differently. Like everybody makes mistakes. Everybody deserves a second chance. Like,
yeah, but then I told my 15-year-old sister, I was like, you don't go to jail, right, for a year for DUI? She's like, no, give me his first and last name in the town he grew up in. And I was like, okay.
oh
And
my
then she
God.
found that Facebook group.
Oh my, oh my God. So then what?
So then when I found out, I called my other friend who he has met, and she has a dog. And she was going to bring the dog over once to meet him. And I was like, oh, she's got to know about this. And she was like, you are dating a dog murderer. And I was like, yeah. So I'm going to call him and break up with him. And so I did a 3-way call with my sister and him and confronted him. He was like, Lily, you don't know the whole story.
I'm sorry. What more to that story do I need to hear for you to redeem yourself? Like, unless the dog was bleeding out and had like stage 4 cancer and was about to die 2 days later, there's no way that you're the hero in this story, doll.
Well, he beat the dog with a bat also, by the way.
Oh, I
That's
don't
how he
need to
killed
hear
her.
that. That is deeply upsetting.
Horrible. Freaking horrible. How do you think I felt? I grew up with animals all my life and stuff. I was just like, I can't even believe that this man has slept in my bed.
I mean, I don't even know you two. Imagine how I feel. I'm like, who am I even talking to?
Yeah, absolutely horrible. And so the reason why he never wanted me to meet his roommate either was because it was his the person he was in jail with, like his cellmate. So he never wanted me to meet him.
I mean, I can't blame the guy, I gotta say. If that were my situation, I too wouldn't want my date to meet my roommate. Wow.
Yeah, he tried to send me pictures of like the police reports and stuff, and I blocked him before he could, but I also found them, and I was like, these don't make him look any better.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Did you, while you were dating him for the 3 months, feel like anything was off, or like did he show any signs of being a dog murderer? The fuck?
No, and I reached out to his brother and his ex-girlfriend, the one that filed all these things against him that got him in jail. I reached out to them on Instagram, and they were like, you need to stay away from him. He's an alcoholic, all this stuff. And that also freaked me out because we would go bar hopping and stuff. And I was like, okay, so this guy's an animal abuser, alcoholic, and just, I was like, I can't even believe this man was around me.
No, his resume for hell is quite lengthy. He might just get the job. Wow. Oh my God. How did you feel after finding this out? Like, because I think that's the scariest part of dating, truthfully, is like how you just, especially with all these apps, how you'll just like match with someone and then you just start dating and getting to know things about each other, but there's so much that they cannot tell you. And then you get so far in and you're like, oh my God, what even is my reality at this point? Were you good after this?
I didn't let people into my apartment the first day ever again. I mean, like, I did that the first time that I met him. And then my building had a doorman, and they put a picture up if he ever came back.
Honestly,
he came back.
period. But were you like upset? Were you angry? Like, I just am thinking about especially if not only I just learned this information, but it was slipped to me in a manila envelope from my 15-year-old sibling.
Yeah, my sister's pretty like real for that though.
No, but like Gen Z scares the shit out of me for that exact reason. Like they will have your entire like life report pulled up in 3 minutes. And I'm like, what?
It made me feel stupid too because she found it in like 10 minutes. We were not talking for very long, and she was like, Lily, you're not going to like what I'm going to send to you.
I always think it's important to Google the people you're dating, unless you match with me. And in that case, please do not fucking Google me, okay?
I did. I paid for that thing that they use on Catfish for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
What do they use on Catfish?
I forget the website that it's called, but I think it's been verified or something. And you can pay like $1 a month, and they give you if they have any police reports and where they lived, and like if their phone number checks out to the name that they're saying. Yeah, I used that for a bit after that.
Oh wow, the way I have a little Google search of my own happening right after this episode. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's helpful.
No, it definitely seems helpful. Wow. So I don't think that you guys will be going on another date.
No, that was 4 years ago. So
is he in jail? Do we know?
I have no idea. I hope so, but I don't know.
Oh, I want to find out who this is.
It's from upstate New York. Shout out.
Amazing. I can't wait to do a little sister Google search after this with all the keywords.
Yeah, exactly. Mom Facebook group trying to throw him back in jail.
No, I mean, like, the fact that there is a Facebook group is like gaggy. Like, that should be the modern day version of a citizen's arrest. Like, if there's that many people joining a Facebook group, I don't even know how to log into my Facebook anymore. Like, the fact that people are joining a group about how terrible of a person and like watch out, that feels like, okay, we have enough info. Let's citizens arrest.
Yeah, no, insane. And the fact that I reached out to his like brother and he was like, stay away, it's kind of crazy.
No, that is crazy. And then also the fact that he sharpened your knives.
Yeah, exactly.
Not sitting right with me.
No, I mean, I was like, oh, he's a chef. He's like doing his thing. And then when I found that, I was like, oh my God, he was going to murder me.
Do you ever think that he prepared you meat that wasn't what he said it was?
I really would hope not.
Okay, yeah, you've been through enough. I don't need to give you any more paranoias. I mean, like, this is why I can't watch, like, CSI and shit for too long, because then I, like, really go off the deep end. But thank you for sharing this insane story.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I love your vibe. This was, like, the most morbid shit ever. And you're like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, okay, Mickey Mouse, settle down.
It's been so long. I don't know. I kind of just laugh now.
I mean, you have to laugh. Otherwise, you'll just, like, lose your mind.
It's too much trauma. I don't think that I need to give my therapist more reasons.
No, you've done enough. You've been through enough, girl. Well, thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.
Awesome. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. Oh my God. I think about that like legitimately often with dating of like, could this person be, I don't like fill in the blank. I had one of my friends who was dating someone and like it totally fucking skewed her entire reality because the person was telling her one thing and like to this day, we don't know where she lives, what she does for work, like where she's from. Like we had to do a background check on her. Dating really freaks me out. And like that kind of shit. Ooh, dear Lord. Also, if you are watching this episode on youtube.com/@ChrisVerseThePeople, comment down below a wild story that you have. I really want this podcast to expand just beyond the episode. Like, I want y'all to feel included and a part of it too. So comment a wild story you have. I cannot wait to read through some of them. And maybe I'll read through some of the comments on the after show of other people's weird stories. Oh my God, is the after show developing, dare I say? We're going to find out. But before we do, we have our next caller, LJ, who accidentally got her brother jumped by 3 guys in high school and then never told him it was her fault. So yeah, I would like to speak to you, LJ. Hi, LJ. It's Chris from Chris vs. the People. We have to talk about you getting your brother jumped by 3 guys in high school. What the fuck did you do to have this? Do you hate your brother?
Yo, I love him so much. However, we did do so bad, like middle school, high school. We had like a insane home environment. And so at the time, we were in the outs, okay?
Wait, why was the home environment so bad? You don't have to get too deep into it, but like, was it just like dysfunctional or was
super dysfunctional, like kind of crazy shit happening in the home. And so there was like very much so the vibe of like, I feel like I was very much on like my dad's side of the house. My brother was on my mom's side of the house. There was fight between my parents and my brother and I would fight. It was insane.
Is it just you and your brother?
Yeah, it's just the 2 of us.
Okay, got it.
The 2 of us.
Okay, so each of you sided with a different parent.
Yeah, and then there was infighting and it was insanity, Chris.
What were the fights over?
Oh my God. Like, I mean, it could be over anything, dude. In this season of my life, I was very pissed off because it was very the cliche of like my brother's dating all of my friends and that pissed me off. And then when they would break up, I would lose these friendships because then it was weird. Like, I don't want to come over your house, like, because that's now your ex. I'm like, well, that's my brother, not my fault. Like,
oh my God, is your brother older than you or younger?
Yeah, he's older than me.
Okay. Oh my
Just
God.
like a year ago.
What a shitty thing to do, date your friends?
Yes, all the time. And this is not just a one-time occurrence. He also literally dated one of my best friends in high school. And then they kept it from me. And I was like, but it's not hard to pick up on like, oh, this is very flirty. And they gaslit me for months of like, oh no, we're not together. And then they were. And my grandma is the one who ended up telling me. She's like, I refuse to lie. I'm like,
Wait, pump the motherfucking brakes. My first question is, how many of your friends did your brother date? Was it like 2 or was it like
I think
6?
4.
Oh,
I think like 4.
that is fucking diabolical.
I know. Thank you.
That's like crazy. Like 1 or 2, I think is like, okay, like you never know, like people's connections, like maybe this is fate. But 4 is like, okay, maybe your sister's friends aren't your type. Maybe that. So how did your grandma find out about your brother and your best friend?
She lived in the house. And she saw the tomfoolery happening. She saw the lies that were happening. And she's like, I refuse to take part. Like,
okay, now this is the version of Willy Wonka I want to be watching. Because, like, what do you mean that, like, Grandma Joe was in bed and she's like, I know all the lies and the tomfoolery. I've seen them doing it in the living room. Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, Judy, she did not play.
So is this why you got your brother jumped?
No, honestly, this is how it all came to be, going back to the original plot line. So, essentially, I was young and stupid, and I was dating someone older than me that I shouldn't have been.
Why shouldn't you have been dating them?
Because they were older than me. Like, I was a freshman, and so what, like 13, 14? And they were, like, about to leave in the military. Like, they had graduated high school. So, should not have been dating this person.
Okay, well, I would just like to say they shouldn't have been dating you.
So true.
If they're the legal adult in the situation.
Correct. And so one day I was hanging out with this guy, and he sees that I have like a massive like bruise on me, on my arm. And he's like, what? Like, what is that from? Like, what happened? I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, my brother and I got in a fist fight. It's fine. It's like, my brother and I didn't play. Like, and so he's like, what the fuck? And he says my brother's name. I'm like, oh, yeah. And he's like, that's not right. Like, guys should not lay their hands on girls. Like, that just isn't right.
And is this your guys' first date?
No. Like, we've been, like, fooling around, whatever.
Okay, so it's like he's got some investment in you to be standing up like this. He's not just like a loose cannon on the first date being like, I'm going to beat up your brother.
Yeah, no. And I can't emphasize this enough. I had no idea that this was happening because then I don't know in all reality, but what it feels like to me in my mind's eye, like the next day or a couple of days later, I'm just at home, I'm eating dinner, I'm having a great time. And my brother comes barreling in through our back door because when he was walking home from football practice, a guy, he was waiting like in the dugouts. Our family house like butted up against city land, so there's like football fields and the baseball fields in the behind my home.
Okay,
so
got
my
it.
brother was walking home from school, cut across the field, and this guy was in a dugout of the baseball field and was like, hey, and like yelled my brother's name. So my brother turned around and this guy comes up and confirms it's my brother and just starts wailing on him. So my brother comes home. He has like a bloody nose. His shirt is ripped. And he's like, these 3 guys came out and attacked me. So I'm like, that's fucking crazy. I'm like, who would have done that? Like, I'm just as shocked as him. Like, genuinely, I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, I live in a small town.
Meanwhile, you're like, I'm waiting for my boyfriend to get here for dinner. And you open the door.
Yeah, I'm just like, hello, that's my ride, bye. No, and so the next time I ended up seeing him, he asked, how's your brother doing? And he's like laughing, and I was like, oh, like he's not doing great. Like he literally got jumped, and he just starts losing it. And I'm like, oh, you're a psycho. It's you. Like, and he admitted to it, that it was him and 2 of his friends jumped my brother because he shouldn't lay his hands on girls. But I'm sitting here like, he has no idea why he just got jumped. He doesn't know who the fuck you are. You're like my sneaky link on the side. If anyone should be fighting anyone, my brother would square up with you because why the fuck are you dating me? Like, me, now, adult, thinks this.
No, I mean, 100% it should have totally been, the jumping should have been reversed.
Other way.
But
thank you.
But also, I think that is so insane. Like, obviously, I think that a man shouldn't put their hands on a woman, duh. But like, if that's someone's sibling, like that's their own like thing to like. You can ask questions, make sure that like you're safe. But like, you don't get involved in sibling fights. Like, that is rule number one of sibling fight club, is that like nobody else fights your battles. It's like one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of these things of like, I could talk shit on my brother, but the second someone else does, I'm like, hey, even if they said the exact same sentence that I said, I'm like, absolutely not. That is my brother. Like, I know I was just putting him like up to fry a second ago, but now absolutely not. You cannot say that.
No, that like, there's shit that you can say to your sibling that if someone else said the same thing, it doesn't fly. It's like a plane coming out of Newark Airport. It's not flying. And that is crazy that he and got two other people also. It wasn't like he just did it.
Two other people, accomplices.
Where did you meet this guy?
I met him. So, God, once again, back to that sweet, sweet childhood of mine. It was insane. And so I was definitely hanging out with an older crowd. God, I could really get into it. I was hanging out with the older crowd. I met him like at a party where there was both like high schoolers and college students. I should not have been in attendance.
Okay, that as a sentence is so crazy. There were high school and college students. Like, what?
Meanwhile, I'm like a freshman.
Oh my God. Okay, so the setting you met him in wasn't ideal, really, either.
No.
Oh, wow. Did your brother have to get a nose job?
No, he didn't.
You sound mad that he didn't have to get a nose job. Does he have an ugly nose? Like,
well, my grandma, same one that said I ain't playing around with this business, she always is telling the truth, okay? And one truth she has routinely told both my brother and I our whole lives is, yeah, you guys have my nose. And then she goes, I needed a nose job. Thanks, Judith.
not her like reading you two and then her.
Also herself. Like,
Wow, that's
like,
gaggy. I feel like grandparents are always the ones that are like, that's our family nose. Don't ever get a nose job. That's so funny. She's like, yeah, no, we're all cooked.
Yeah, no, she said, I'll be the first to tell you. It's got to go.
Wow, I need to get your grandma on the phone. But thank you so much for sharing this wild story. Now, we will be talking to you a little bit later on the after show about how your house got raided by the FBI.
Perfect.
Which after this story, like, wow, I see the sequel. I'm starting to understand. But I'm very excited. I'll talk to you soon. And thank you so much for calling in.
Yep, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, you never fight someone's siblings battle. Like, that is rule number one. Like, even if you're dating the person, like, I don't even think you sit down and like have a stern conversation. Well, no, I would do that. But like, beating up my partner's brother because they were fighting. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm sorry, that's crazy. But speaking of crazy, our last caller, Courtney, had an ex-boyfriend's grandmother who faked her own death to see how they would all react. I don't know why there's so much fake deaths happening on this podcast, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. Hi, Courtney. It's Chris from Chris Versus the People. Now, we have to talk about your ex-boyfriend's grandmother because what the fuck? Now, how many years ago was this?
Maybe like 7, 8 years.
Oh, okay. So
ago?
It's like a pretty distanced ex.
Yes. Yeah, thank God, yes.
How long did you guys date for?
We dated for 4 years, and it was insane. Like, I genuinely, like, early 20s, girl, I don't know what I was thinking, but it is, like, actually, his family is untethered from reality.
No, I'm definitely getting that sense, but in your defense, who the fuck really makes great decisions in their early 20s? Because I sure as hell didn't.
Exactly.
So when you were dating your now ex, did you sense something was weird about his family while you were in it? Because 4 years is like a long time to learn some shit.
I actually also submitted this story, but our first date, his mom and his sister crashed in disguise.
Wait, are you you're this girl?
Yeah, it's the same
family.
Wait, Courtney, you were one of these people that I wanted to call and like honestly do a whole episode about because the form you submitted, I have been saving this one.
No.
Oh my God, you're the girl. Oh, you're the girl who's, oh, wait, so tell us about the first date. Oh my God, I'm seated.
Oh my God, that's like such a compliment. Like, thank you.
I mean, it is a reflection of how insanely dysfunctional your life is, but like, if you're wearing that as a badge of honor, then hell yeah, girl, you know what? Fuck yeah.
I will take it.
So,
okay, well,
you're on the first date with him. How did you meet him?
Tinder. No, this was back in the days. Do you remember Plenty of Fish?
No, and I feel okay not knowing about Plenty of Fish. It sounds...
Yeah, no, honestly, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Is it like a Christian dating app?
No, it was basically Tinder before Tinder existed.
Okay, so you met him on Plenty of Fish and you go to dinner. How did you know his mom and sister crashed?
Well, because I met them like 2 weeks later, and I was like, wait a fucking minute.
You're like, aren't you guys the two kooky people from the restaurant 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. So we went out for coffee, and this, I found out later, this is like all a setup, like they're deranged, but he left his car lights on the whole time we were in the coffee shop. We were there for like 2 to 3 hours just chatting. And I kept saying like, hey, your headlights are on. Gonna do something about that? And he just kept being so weird. He's like, oh, it's fine. It's just like, just a thing that happens with my car. Headlights don't turn off. And I was like, okay. And then at the end of the date, obviously his car battery is now dead. And like, he can't get home. I'm an adult. I drove myself, but I'm like, I'm not gonna just like leave this guy stranded. And so I'm trying to help him, and not even like, they must have been just waiting in the parking lot. But his mom and his sister pull up and pretend to be like two innocent bystanders in this situation to like help him fix his car. But like, it was all just like a weird ploy to like meet me.
This is the weirdest start to a porno I've ever heard.
And like, it was our first date, and my delusional ass was like, yeah, this is totally chill.
Did you not see any family resemblance between him and his sister and his mom?
No, like, I don't know. It was like late. I had just had like a really weird date because like the date itself was weird. And I was just like, I'm just trying to get this guy's car started so I can go home. And now there's these people here. And like, all three of them were acting like this is a completely normal thing. Like, he wasn't like, hey, mom, stop crashing my date. Like, he was so chill, like acting like she was a stranger. They were all in on it. Like, they were helping us.
That is actually crazy. Okay, wait. So how did you make it 4 years if 2 weeks later you find the same car jumpers are his mom and sister?
Listen, I was delusional.
No. I mean, there's being delusional and then there's whatever the fuck this is. 2 weeks later, if I go over to his house and I am like, oh, hey, can't wait to meet your family, and it's the car jumpers, I would have jumped back in my car.
Well, that's a little kooky. Like, okay.
Did anybody talk about it when you went over?
Yes, his mom literally, because like at first I wasn't like, it was a couple weeks ago, and in my mind these people were essentially strangers, so I wasn't like memorizing what they looked like.
Sure.
They kind of just like came and went. And so I didn't notice right away. His mom, she, like, I walked in, I was like, hi, nice to meet you. And she was acting weird. Turns out that's just her. But she was, like, kind of giggly. And she's like, oh, like, do you remember me? And I was like, the fuck? And then she told me, and, like, the second they mentioned, I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, it was you. And, and she was just like, yeah, like, you know, I'm just really excited to meet you. Like,
I'm so excited to meet you that I just got my job at AAA to come fix the car. Like, what?
Literally. And I, being delusional, like, well, I am pretty great. So, like, I get it. You know? I get why you'd want to meet me. I was like, okay, cool.
Okay. And like, now we have to get back to the original plot point, which is his grandma faking her own death.
Yeah.
How many years in was this, dare I ask?
Like 2 weeks.
2 years in, I think.
Oh my God, and you still did 2 more. Oh my God. Girl, I'm just going to say, if you hear someone in your house, do not open a closet. Just leave. You seem like the girl that I'm yelling at in a horror movie that's like, don't open the closet. They're in there.
Truly.
Okay, so it's 2 years in and you're still seeing this person, even though that's insane.
Living with him.
How did this go about? Like, did your boyfriend text you and be like, my grandma died?
Yeah, so what's so fierce about this, like, low-key, like, the grandma, like, kind of, I'm going to be this one day. Like, I will be this delusional grandma for sure. But I guess she had just decided that she wasn't getting enough attention. And what's so good is, like, the setup to this was long and meditated. Because she was at, like, you're going to roll your eyes at this too. I lived with him, and we lived in his parents' home with his parents together. And
Babe.
so we were having,
Babe.
No, I know.
Oh my God, you opened the fucking closet in the horror movie. I mean, Jesus.
No, I do every time.
Oh
This
my
was not good.
God. Okay, so you're living in the family home with his parents, aka AAA employees.
Yes, just like a big, happy
Oh my
family. Listen, the housing market, it's rough out here. You know, gotta do what you gotta do.
That doesn't mean you need to move into a Jiffy Lube. I mean, goddamn.
It's so bad. Okay, but it was like family dinner. Grandma, who lives with her husband, like grandma and grandpa live together in a different city, like a 45-minute drive.
Okay.
So they come over and grandma's like, she's setting the stage, like in hindsight, we can see it now. She's laying the stones and she's like, yeah, I've been having like some weird health issues. I've been in and out of the hospital. All of this is fabricated that we now know. And she's just saying how like she's been having like some weird heart problems and blah, blah, blah.
Was the family in on the grandmother's thing, or this is like the grandmother's own little shtick that everyone is surprised to hear?
Everyone is a victim of this.
Okay.
Yes, the grandma's just off on her own.
Okay, got it. And is no one like, what the hell, grandma? Why didn't you tell us you've been in and out of the hospital? Like, I'm sorry, if my grandma was like, I've been in and out of the hospital, I would be like, girl, what? I'm coming up to stay with you. Like,
well, yeah, she's just like, we're at family dinner. She's telling us about it. We're all concerned. But she seems good. She's in good spirits. She's fine. She seems fine. And then family dinner comes and goes, and like a week goes by, and then she's like lays another level. She calls and she's like, hey, just so everyone knows, Grandpa's headed out of town. He's going to be gone for a couple weeks. He's doing something. So like, I'm home alone. And at the time, we're all like, okay, cool. We didn't think much of it.
you're like, Grandma, why are you telling us that Grandpa's out of town and not that you were in the hospital multiple times?
Like, she's literally just like setting this little stage, like getting it all ready. And so then his mom does have like daily phone calls with her. So like the fact that she knows, I feel like she's getting enough attention, it's here nor there. But anyways, so his mom, it's been 3 days and she hasn't been answering the phone. And Grandpa's been out of town for 4 days now. And so we're like, this is a little strange. We start calling her friends. We start like, hey, where's Grandma? Haven't heard from her. And basically it gets to the point where it's 4 a.m. I have to work at 7 a.m. And his mom bursts into our bedroom. That's a regular occurrence. Bursts into our bedroom and says, I think Grandma's dead.
Okay, we'll get back to dead grandma really quick. What the fuck do you mean that mom barging into the bedroom was a constant thing?
So,
like, what do you mean by that, and why were you able to say that and move on from it so casually?
It's the trauma. It's the trauma of it all.
It's the delusion, it's the trauma, I guess. I don't know what the fuck's happened. But
did she literally like
did she ever catch you doing it?
Yes, Chris. All the time.
Oh my God! Courtney, I need you to be so honest. I've never yelled at a girl like this. How the fuck were you with him for 4 years?
No, it's not good, Chris. It's not good. I mean, I'm happily married to a very normal man now, so like it is good.
Okay, we'd love to see you win. Okay, amazing. Okay, so anyways, back to the original plot line. She barges in like she normally does, ha 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 ha, and says, I think grandma's dead.
Yeah, I think grandma's dead. She, as per usual, she's on her sleeping pills. So she's like, I can't drive. We all need to get up. Everybody in the fucking house needs to get up, and we all need to go find grandma because she has not been responding. None of her friends or family, like none of the extended family's heard from her. And she's putting together the pieces like, oh my God, grandpa's out of town. She's been having these heart conditions. Like, we're all feeling horrible. We are concerned. Like, this is like, oh no, we're putting the pieces together. So we all load in the car. And like I said, it's like a bit of a drive to grandma's house. We got me, my boyfriend, his little sister. She's in the car. We're all driving. Big happy family at 4 a.m. barreling down the highway.
Mom's in the trunk on sleeping pills.
Literally, like, it's so not good. I'm like bitch texting his mom to my boyfriend, and I didn't realize that they're fucking like his phone's Bluetooth to the car, and if the car's reading out me complete, like, it's not a good time. Like, everyone's on edge. I'm now in trouble because I'm a bitch. Like, it's not good.
I hate when cars read out the text. I will say there is one instance that I loved it because I was leaving a trip and there was this girl that pissed me the fuck off. And she was texting my friend who was driving her car, and her phone is obviously connected to the Bluetooth playing music. And it's like, yeah, I just don't get why Chris did it. And I was like, oh, this bitch.
Receipts.
Anyways, so like I
that
love
shit.
when it works in my favor, but that's crazy.
Yeah, but at this point, I'm like, I'm tired. I work in 3 hours. Honestly, fuck you, you know? And so we're going down the highway. We're trying to figure out the non-emergency line for her city. So like, we got to call the police. Like, this is not good. We get there. She's in an apartment complex. So of course, like, we're buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. She's not answering. And so it's now like 5 a.m. and we have to call the building manager, and we're doing a wellness check. Why none of us just called the effing police, I do not know. But honestly, you understand at this point, logic not present in this story.
No, not your strongest suit, I've got to say.
No, it's not present. And so building manager, like, it's a whole friggin' thing. Like, we're all crying. We're panicking. Like, we're on edge. We're not feeling good. We're pretty sure we're about to uncover a body. And we go into her room, and this fucking bitch, like, honestly, so good. We go in, her front door, it's agape. It's open. She's waiting. She knows what's happening. It's doors unlocked, a little bit open. We're like, oh my God, there's been a break and enter. We go in, grandma in her finest outfit, all her jewelry, sitting on the couch, leg crossed, just staring like, hey, what's up? Like, she's been waiting.
She's like smoking a cigarette or a joint, and she's like, I've been waiting for you guys.
The worst part is, like, we then had to sit in a circle and tell her something we love about her before we were allowed to leave. And like, at that point, I'm disassociating. I'm tuning out from reality at this point. But it was just so low-key fierce on her end, but like absolutely untethered, like deranged, but kind of fun.
Oh my, and like you had to sit there in a circle and say good things. Who initiated that little kumbaya moment?
Okay. Literally though, like, my initial reaction was, fuck you. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, like, we should be angry, but no, that's not how we decided to respond, apparently. His mom was, like, so apologetic. She's like, this has completely, changed my opinion on how I treat other people. Like, thank you for this gift of realization. And I'm like, you are insane. Like, this woman just absolutely gaslit us into thinking she was dead.
The mom saying that whole monologue, I'm like, okay, that's giving Republican.
Oh, big time.
How did I know?
It's the delusion. It just goes hand in hand.
Oh, this makes me want to be better to people. This is what you just don't want to be better to people because you should?
This is what you needed? Yeah, no, and I'm just sitting there at this point, like, texting my boss, like, I might be a couple hours late.
You're like, so I'm gonna do crack today. I can't come in.
I need to check out for a minute after this one. Like, I am just not well. And I fully just started disassociating, playing along, being like, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry, boyfriend's grandma, that I haven't been giving you enough of my time. Of course, boyfriend's extended family, you should be on top of my list. Yeah, totally. For sure. It was horrible.
It was so horrible. You decided to date him for another 2 years. Wow. What a beautiful ending this is. Well, Courtney, I definitely will be calling you in the future because we have a lot to talk about. And this is, I'm so sad to say, is just the tip of the iceberg.
I am sad to say that too.
Does your husband know this story?
Oh yeah, like for the first 6 months of us dating, it was just the lore of my ex. Fully entertaining, locked in.
Were you the most untrusting person in dating after that?
Oh my God, the therapy. For the form, I obviously kept it light and fun because we don't need anything. This is a fun podcast. We don't need anything dark. But
yeah, because none of this has been dark at all. You're so right. This is all just super light, loving, and happiness. Let the light in. Amen. Oh my God, Courtney. I need to.
In contrast.
My minutes are running up and I've got to hang up. You frighten me, honestly.
That's too funny.
I don't know why, but I feel like you and I would be really good friends because of just the absolute ignoring of red flags.
I don't see them. I just keep going.
I'm just I think those are green. I don't know. Well, thank you so much for sharing this little chunk of trauma from your life.
Thank you for calling me.
That was truly a wild story to end on. Just every aspect of it. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.
Yes, bye.
Bye. Y'all, oh my God. I always say this at live shows when the shows get really dysfunctional. But I look out into the audience and I'm like, wow, this really is just a reflection of who I am. And these calls today, these felt like a great reflection of who I am. I'm like, this is the community I've rallied behind me. Listen, I'm not mad about it. Y'all are funny. I mean, some of this shit was not so funny, but I thoroughly enjoyed hearing about all of these wild stories. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. This episode was shorter than our normal ones. Normally, we would do a couple more calls. And if you like what we did with this episode, where we made it sort of a theme, let me know because we will definitely make the episodes more thematic if people are leaning with it and rocking with it. Again, be sure to subscribe to Chris vs. the People wherever you get your episodes. We have video episodes up on youtube.com/@Chris vs. the People. And as always, be sure to rate and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm very excited for my shows this week in Seattle and Portland and the ones that I've got coming up in New York, Indianapolis, and St. Louis. The tickets are in the description for that. There's meet and greets, super fun. And now we are going to go talk to LJ on the after show, and I'm going to maybe share a little bit about my Beyonce concert experiences this weekend. But yeah, I will see you guys next episode. Love you.